Hey guys, welcome back to Gideon Stuff, and welcome back to Cheap Knife Week, Volume 2. I am still sick. I'm filming this right after filming the Kershaw Cryo video, but I took some cough drops, ate some jalapenos, and you know what? My voice is feeling a little bit better. So, let's get into this, because this is a real treat. This is the S-TEC TS016. This is a beast of a knife. I saw this on Amazon, and I was like, oh yeah, I definitely gotta get that. And yeah, it's perfect for Cheap Knife Week. About 30 bucks on this guy. And there's a lot of things that I thought made this a really cool knife, and one that people new to the hobby might gravitate towards picking up, because it's an affordable way to get your hands on an Axis lock. So, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. This is a big tactical bruiser. So we're coming in here just a little bit over 3.5 inches on the blade. Feels a lot bigger than that. I mean, I guess if we measure all the way back here, we're kind of close to 4, but measuring the closest spot on the handle, just a little bit over 3.5. We'll call it like 3.6, 2, 3, something. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and compare it against some stuff. There is the Ontario Wrap 1 and the 2. So yeah, big boy. You know, the Ontario Wrap 1 and 2 would probably be good candidates for Cheap Knife Week as well, but you know. Alrighty. Here's our Elementums, or our Civivis, starting with the Elementum and the Praxis. Good deal, good deal. Wow. I'm really trying to bring my usual energy to the review, but my throat is like, no, stop. Ooh, that wasn't good. And here's our bug out. Whoa, look, Axis lock buddies. And here's our PM2 tactical buddies. So, as you guys know, the patent on the Axis lock expired, blah, blah, blah. It's okay for S-TEC to do this. Good, we got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and compare against some of the other knives we've seen for Cheap Knife Week. Here's the Kershaw Cryo. Here's the Gerber Swagger. There we go. And what are we looking at in terms of materials? So this is a blade of, it's overcast today, so the lighting's not as great. I do rely a lot on natural lighting through my big window, but 8CR14 MOV at this price point. I'm going to say that's all right. G10, steel liners. I think this is a plastic back spacer, steel clip, and of course the Axis lock is running on washers. So let's go ahead and get to the cutting footage. And yeah, the cutting footage was filmed about a month ago at this point. Enjoy. Guys, I just got the piss scared out of me. So I'm out here doing some review cutting. Not having a care in the world. Enjoying my time out here. It's beautiful. I love it. There's a little bit of a cloud overhead, so, you know, been sprinkling a little bit, might rain. And I was transferring some files from my phone to my computer. And while I was waiting for that, I'm looking at rocks, like I normally do, right? Because I'm a geologist. And then I happen to look up and I see, boom. Did you see that? It scared the crap out of me. And oh look, there went a little collared lizard. So, you know, there's obviously people come out here shoot. Got our 12 gauge out here. Someone took a... Anyways, that's what all the flies are buzzing around for. Disgusting. Yuck, stinks too. You know, we got pieces of clay pigeons all over the place. And then this absolute nightmare-inducing... Gosh. Oh, I look up, I see her face. And I thought, oh crap, I just found someone who got killed by the cartel. Gosh. So out of the corner of my eye, I was like, what the frick? And no, it's just... Hey guys, Gideon here. I'm joined with Buckshot Bella. Hey, put that away. What are you trying to do? Get me demonetized? Joke's on you, I'm already not monetized. They give these things nipples. Why? And also eyelashes. Look at that. She's got eyelashes. Do you see that? She's also got little pieces of birdshot in her face. And gosh, no arm. You are just creepy as hell. All right. Getting back on track here. Today we're talking about the S-TEC. Oh crap. What is the name of this thing? I can't remember. It's a series of numbers. It's in the title. You guys know what this is called. So, yeah. This is a big old knife. And possibly one of the more tactically minded knives that I've ever reviewed on this channel. This is a very aggressively tactical knife. You guys know my channel. I mostly review EDC stuff and like outdoor hard use stuff. So this is, you know, I'm not a tactical master. You know, my biggest tactical experience in that field was when I killed Barney in that Karambit video, and just now when I stabbed Buckshot Bella in the face. So, you know, if you were looking for Friday night gas station fight techniques, I'm not your guy. Sorry. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this knife. 8CR14 blade at this price. You know what? Good deal. G10 handles, and it's got a crossbar lock. Let's talk about the action, because the action is actually pretty good for a budget crossbar lock with this big blade. Yeah, you can flick it out really easy. You can reverse flick it. A little bit awkward just because of the size of the knife, and I mean, it is locked up solid. You know, sometimes axis lock style knives have a little bit of play. This one is bank vault solid, so that's really cool. And I mean, if I want to give up a little bit of the strength to have it more fall shutty, I'm sure I could adjust it to be that way. But you know, when you pull the lock bar down, you know, you can give it a shake. If you really whip your wrist, it closes right away. But yeah, I think the action is great. It's running on washers. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. No problems there. Let's talk about the ergonomics. Definitely not a neutral handle. Oh look, the sun's coming out. Come back, cloud. I don't want it to be 110 degrees. But you can see it wants you to put your fingers here. But, you know, that works for me. It does fit. It's pretty comfortable. If you have hands that are bigger than mine, you'll have some room. You can choke up into here. This little area here by the thumb studs, good spot for your thumb. Now, if you're holding the knife like this, that pocket clip is an owie. Like, it's getting me right where it hurts. However, if I'm holding the knife like this, I can't feel the clip at all. So, you know, if you're left-handed and you have the clip on the right-hand side for whatever reason, you'll rub your finger on there. It's kind of painful, but, you know. Ergonomics, I'm actually going to say, are pretty good. They're very tactically minded. You know, you got all kinds of stuff you could do with that. . With gloves, that's why I brought the gloves out here to begin with. because I mean, come on, if you're talking about a tactical knife, or like in this case, I would use this as like just a hard use knife. How easy is it to manipulate? You flick it out. Feels really good in the hand with gloves. Very locked in. No hot spots, because gloves do that. They eliminate hot spots. And yeah, just really nice. You can manipulate it with gloves, which I think is really cool, because sometimes I have trouble manipulating axis lock knives while I'm wearing gloves. So that's awesome. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the carry. So the pocket clip, this is a very shallow ride indeed, but the clip does work. But yeah, there's a lot of knives sticking out of your pocket. The clip is technically reversible, but it's really weird. We'll talk about that at the table. You might notice, also got my Gerber strong arm, because, I don't know, I feel like they kind of match. I don't know. Alright, let's go ahead and get some cutting done. Let's grab just this little piece of cardboard. Behind the edge thickness, I don't know if you guys want to know. We might as well measure it just because I got the thing here. Yeah. Alright, so I'm getting 21 thousandths right there. About 20 thousandths there. And about 20 thousandths there, so probably about 21 thousandths all the way around. So really not that thick behind the edge, all things considered. Let's go ahead and get right into some cutting. I know we're taking a while on this review, but it's a pretty interesting knife, right? Plus, you know, we also had to be joined by Buckshot Bella. Alrighty. Yeah, let's go ahead and do like this first. So the blade stock is substantial. Not the thickest thing ever, but certainly not thin. And yeah, you know what? Full flat grind, except for the fuller. It slices really well. I can't say I'm disappointed in the way it slices. When I was using this, you know, EDCing this, and I'm probably going to EDC this more after I do this cut footage, because it'll probably be like a week or two before I get to the filming the review. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of knife, but it does cut well, so you know, that's good. All right, woo, did that pretty well. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of the pushies. Tilt you guys down so you can see this. 1, 2, 3. It crunched through there pretty good. I did yab myself right there with the clip pretty good though, so that wasn't fun. The blade shape is a clip point, straight clip point, not a reverse tanto. If I hear anyone say that in the comments, I'm gonna, I don't know, beat up Buckshot Bella again. Let's go ahead and see how well the grind is done. Let's see how thin we can go. Whoa! Whoa! Holy cow! Look how thin that is. And honestly, we kind of stuttered once right there, but that's pretty darn consistent all the way. That is pretty good. I'm a big fan of that. You know what? Hey, no complaints from me. Do we even need to do any more? Let's do some more just for tradition's sake. Let's go a little bit thicker. Okay, so there, we kind of went off target a little bit. That might have been my fault though. So let's try that again. See if I can keep this as consistent as possible. You know what? We got caught on, you know, a little bit of an error in the grind right there, but honestly, it felt really, really good going through that noodle. I am impressed. I am impressed. All right, let's go finish up this review. Alrighty, let's talk about what I'm liking and not liking about this S-TEC. First of all, this knife is just, it's a tank. It is a tank. And I love that. For 30 bucks, this feels like a lot of knife. This feels like a lot of badassery, if we're being honest. Yeah, it is. It's pretty impressive. Next thing, the blade is actually pretty good. There's some things that I could nitpick. Remember, the Cheap Knife Week, we're not as critical as we would normally be, so I'm not going to be, super hard on them about the edge termination here. Although they did all right. They went for kind of a Spyderco deal, and they didn't do it perfectly, but they did all right. Anyways, we're not gonna grill them about that. But big, broad clip point blade, not a reverse Tonto. Big, broad clip point blade. Really good slicing. You have this full flat grind except for the fuller, and yeah, it powers through stuff. 8CR14 at this price point doesn't bother me at all. So yeah, I like that. Next thing, the action was really good on this out of the box. Yeah, like, I would not say it's the best axis lock I've ever felt, but for the price point and for how big this thing is, yeah, I think it's all right. I really do. No complaints there. You can reverse flick it. You can use the fuller to deploy it, although the fuller is kind of slippery. It's not super sharp, but yeah, see, I lost it right there. You can, if you get it just right. Oh, come on, Gideon. There we go. A little bit difficult behind the camera, but yeah, there we go. Next thing, the G10 is really, really well done. It doesn't feel like cheapo G10. I like that they took the time to, chamfer the edges and do all this stuff. Yeah, pretty cool. Of course, axis lock at 30 bucks is a pretty cool thing. Let's talk about the ergonomics, because we'll get back to the ergonomics, but they're actually pretty good. If I'm right here, I have my thumb up in this little area here, like this little poon spoon, except it's like way back here. Yeah, that's pretty comfy. Even though, this is not really a neutral handle, like they want you to put your fingers here. It works out. We'll get back to the ergonomics in a little bit, but, you can choke up into here if you want to. Be back here with that jimping, which is fairly good jimping. You get some good traction there. But yeah, the axis lock itself is easy to actuate. They have the studs out far enough. The thumb stud on this knife is actually positioned very, very well. I thought it looked a little bit high, a little bit off, but no, it works fine, except for when I flub it right there. But yeah, it works absolutely fine. I like that this knife is on washers. This is kind of a tactical / hard use knife, and if they put bearings on it, it would have felt like, they kind of didn't commit completely to the, hard use aspect. But no, they put it on washers, and yeah, I appreciate the commitment. Next thing, this thing locks up solid. Like, there is absolutely no play, which is impressive, because most of the time with these axis lock knives, in my experience at least, if you have the action dialed perfectly, there's usually just a little bit of wiggle. Sometimes not much, but a little bit. This one is locked up like a bank vault, and that's pretty cool. And it's centered, which is even more impressive, right? But yeah, good deal there. So yeah, overall, with the pros, it's just very well built. You're getting a lot of knife for your money, and yeah, it does perform like you would want it to. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to some of the negatives. And the biggest negative is kind of funny, but the pocket clip. They tried to make this a full ambi knife. You can see there they have a reversible pocket clip, but look at this clip. See how it like curves that way? Let me show you what the problem is here. Let's grab our little tools. We got T6 here. Yep. I appreciate them, you know, at least thinking about the lefties. Like, you know, it's the thought that counts, right? But the execution of said thought was not thought out that much. So then you flip the clip over to this other side. Go in there, screw. Why are you not going in? Let's see, will this one go in? Just a second. Okay, that is weird. I guess maybe it's not supposed to be reversible because these screws now don't want to go in on this side. But anyways, if you did get it screwed on, I mean, I guess technically you've got a clip on that side, but it's like do-whack-a-do. And, you know, Cold Steel will include an extra clip in the packaging. This one did not come with an extra clip, so yeah, that's kind of a big fail. Let's go ahead and get this clip switched back around. Alrighty, let's carry on. And we're not done with the clip. The clip rides super shallow. And, you know, on a knife like this, I can kind of understand why, you know, if you're in a Friday night gas station fight, you gotta be able to grab your knife and get it open and raw. But, you know, yeah, that's a little bit obnoxious. Obnoxious? Wow, obnoxious. And in the hand, this big old yoink, in certain positions, it just stabs you and it hurts. However, I've been using this knife enough that, like, I automatically go to a position where I don't feel the clip, because if you grab it in certain ways, it, like, kind of, like, that point, like, kind of falls into, like, some of the folds in your hand skin. And so you don't really feel it. I mean, if I move, like, back here, I can feel it right there on the knuckle, or not knuckle, but the whatever that is. And yeah, that kind of hurts. But like if I grab it like this, I can feel it a little bit. But yeah, when I first got the knife, that was more of an issue. But after using it for a while, I automatically, you know, just go to grips where I can't feel the clip anymore. So, you know, it's something that you adjust to for sure. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. That's about all the negative I've got. And again, we're not being as hypercritical as usual. I'm not left-handed. But yeah, let's go ahead and go on to my final conclusions. This is an awesome knife. This is awesome. It is a beast. And I mean, if you want a huge, ridiculous, just crazy tactical knife, and you don't have that much money to spend, I recommend this one all the way. I think it's going to be polarizing for some people. You know, this is not a knife for everyone, but if you see this and you're like, hell yeah, then yeah, you will like this. I love it. I love it. It's very strong. It's incredibly sturdy. It just, you know, when I stabbed Bella in the forehead, the tip took no damage, which kind of impressed me because that dummy was hard, like rock hard. But yeah, you know, it's just a big, crazy tactical knife on a budget. And if you're a new knife guy and you want to try out the Axis lock and you want to get something that's, you know, a little bit out there, yeah, 100% go for it. This is, and the thing is it's not just a gimmick either. The blade does cut well. This is definitely a knife that I can see myself actually using on the ranch in the woods, because I think it could. I think it could stand up to a lot of hard use, and you know, it's a pretty solid knife. So yeah. Alrighty, tomorrow is the final episode of Cheap Knife Week Volume 2, or I guess the final review, because then we have to do the, you know, the whole roundup. But what are we going to be taking a look at? there was your sneak peek. Until then, I've been Gideon. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. And I'll see you in the next one. Adios. Now let's get this deployed real quick. There we go. Adios.